I'm Bella.
And I'm Joey Donaldo, and this is episode 10, right? It's 10 what I just said?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think 10 of the Mobile Fit Lab After Hours. See, we're getting so many done, I'm losing track. That's good.
You're in charge of the numbers.
I mean, 10 really isn't that many, but it feels like a lot more. And today we have the blonde unit.
Wait, we should have done a drum roll or something.
Oh my god, okay, drum roll, ready?
When does the drum roll end?
I don't know. The blonde unit.
Hi, everybody. I'm Veronica Zelner. I am the blonde unit on
That's her real
Instagram. My legal name is the middle name blonde, last name unit.
That's what I thought.
On my birth certificate.
You should change it to that.
I know.
Well, actually, so when I saw your username, the blonde unit, I was like, I'm kind of jealous that my Instagram username is just Isabella or Bella Donaldo. Like, I want a superhero name.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's will be like, insert name here fit, or like insert name here lifts, and I did not want to be basic when I started.
Yeah, I don't like the fit or the lift, so
or
I
like
just
wellness.
Or like wellness or something.
Yeah.
But then it's
Wellness,
easy to just add like the IFBB Pro to the end. So like, you know, I get it.
Next you'll change it to the blonde IFBB Pro.
The blonde IFBB Pro unit, all the tags underneath it.
Yeah.
Everybody like wants their name too, and then people like you, who else? Like Max has a cool name. What is it? A dude who lifts.
A dude who I know who that guy is. Yeah.
Like stuff like that. That's so cool.
There's
I'm
also
just
Gains by
joking.
Goose. There's Wheeze.
Goose,
There's
yeah.
a lot of like it's like the titles, and it's like I don't know. I kind of love it because like even like when we finally met in person, you came up to me and you're like like the blonde unit, and I'm like I'm the blonde unit.
I was sitting there for so long thinking, what do I call her? I couldn't figure out. I should have just looked on your page.
And now, if you want to make merch someday, or you start a YouTube channel,
that's it.
The blonde unit is like awesome.
I think it's so funny too because like I got that username when I was like not even into like bodybuilding. I just kind of like was into the gym. So there's a lot of like ego behind the name.
Yeah.
I feel like to called myself the blonde unit like a year and a half ago. Even now I look at myself and I'm like, you're small. Like you're not like you need to grow, like whatever.
That makes it much better that you started calling yourself the blonde unit like when you started in the gym versus like now I'm a bodybuilder and I'm a unit.
I'm calling myself the unit now. No, like I feel like 95% of my bodybuilding experience came from like such misplaced confidence where I was like, bodybuilding, like, I'll do that. Like, why not? Like, cool.
That's where it all comes from.
Literally.
Yeah, and bodybuilders have egos, and that's what makes us special.
It's usually just in the gym when you have that pump, though.
Oh, 100%.
As soon as you walk out, you're like...
Yeah.
I feel like a weirdo, like, 90% of the time, except for, like, the 10% of the time I'm in the gym. Yeah. And then I'm like, cool. Like, this is... This is peace.
We just need like 400 milligrams caffeine, perfect lighting, and a pump.
100%.
And if someone takes away one of those factors,
it's ruined.
You've destroyed us.
It's ruined.
Okay, well, let's do a little bit of background so that you guys, all of you listening, don't get confused. So, if you just want to introduce yourself, and we're talking about bodybuilding. So, why are we talking about that, and what's your deal?
So, I'm Veronica Zelner. I'm a Penn State student. I'm 21, just very recently turned 21. I got into, like, fitness and, like, the bodybuilding sphere, like, when was it? 2020, basically. Like, I had spent my entire life just being super unathletic. I was really bad at every sport I ever tried. I quit every sport. And I got into college. I was like, I want to change my life. I want to make I want to feel good about my physique. I kind of had never like found that in anything else before. And I knew fitness was important to me, but I just didn't like anything I tried. And then I got into the gym. I ended up like having this like really big weight loss transformation. I was like, this is dope. Like, I really liked all the feedback I was getting and the energy, and people kept encouraging me. And it kind of just sent me down this path where I was then like a gym rat. And then I discovered what the sport of bodybuilding was. And I'm very much a girly girl, and I love the glitz and the glam. And I was like, you know what? Like, again, with kind of the blind confidence or the misplaced confidence, I was like, I'm already a gym rat. Like, how much harder could this be? Which is so stupid. And like, let me fucking tell you, it was fucking hard. And now here I am, 2 shows later. I did 2 shows with the OCB this year. And then I ended up switching coaches right after my show. And I'm now with an NPC coach, and I'm just just putting in some work right now. We're going to grind for hopefully a pro card in the next like 5 years. That would be great. Like in a very realistic manner, time frame.
That's a very realistic.
Yeah, very realistic.
Extra.
Extra time to cushion. And I don't know. I love the lifestyle, and it's given me a lot of fulfillment, which is like the point of everything. So I've just been able to stick through with it. Yeah.
Awesome. So are you a junior?
Yeah, I'm a junior right now, and I'm a political science major. I wanted to be an attorney for a while. And now I'm thinking of just working as a paralegal after college, mainly just because like being an attorney is like a time commitment that I don't know if it's at 21 right now, with like really like being interested in bodybuilding and, you know, like now stepping into content creation and doing stuff like that. Like, I don't know if I want the lack of freedom, I think, being an attorney or going through law school.
Have more passions.
Have you thought about going down the full, you know, pro bodybuilder, content creator path?
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody's thought about it. Right?
Absolutely.
Is that part of the reason you're like...
Here's my issue, though. Like, I would love to pursue content creation. I was the type of kid, like, I was doing, like, Minecraft YouTube videos in middle school. Like, I was doing, like, the challenge videos, like, cracking an egg on my best friend's head. Like, she got a question wrong about me. Like, we would post these videos, edit them on, like, Windows Movie Player on, like, my Toshiba. Like, it was the shit. But then I think there's also, like, right now, with, like, the age of social media, a lot of people kind of, like, are trying to get this pro title in order to do content stuff and like not I don't want to say the other way around, but like I don't know if I'm expressing it properly.
Like in order to
they
be
want
valid,
the title.
I need to get the pro card title.
It definitely doesn't have anything to do with each other.
But they have literally no correlation. I mean, there's not a billion, but there's a lot of IFBB pros who
no one's ever heard of. Exactly.
But it does help with the career aspect of it, because if you're a pro that nobody's ever heard of, you're not going to be getting any 100%. Sponsorships, any.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, bodybuilding doesn't pay good.
Yes, being a pro, like succeeding in bodybuilding, is a goal separate from being a content creator, and you can track your journey and be the most famous content creator without ever being a pro bodybuilder.
Exactly. And vice versa.
Yeah,
so like, yes, I would so go down that path. I would love that for myself, but I want them to be like, I mean, doing content would be in relation to potentially getting a pro card, but I don't want them to be intertwined so much, I guess.
Yeah, you could do content about your whole life.
Like, yeah, and it's exactly that, or like fitness related and like stuff like that. But again, like, I just, like, kind of, it's difficult, like, living that age of social media where people want the pro card just so they can get, like, I mean, now you can buy a blue check mark, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, just for the blue check mark next to your name or, like, anything like that.
But you wouldn't want to, like, track your journey to...
Oh, I totally would. And I do.
And you probably will, I feel like.
And I definitely will. And that's what I do with my content now. I think that, like, everything so far with like what I've put out has been this idea of showing like, hey, listen, like if I could do it, like you can do it too.
Yeah, like, absolutely. Especially with a weight loss journey.
Yeah.
Because you're going into like this very specific part of fitness, which is like this goal to get your pro card, but it started with a very a lifestyle
change,
a lifestyle goal.
Yeah, right? I used to be a binge eater growing up, and that was like a really difficult thing to work through going into bodybuilding, because I never knew that I had a binge eating disorder until I was on the other side of things. And so like I spent a lot of my life like emotionally eating and not taking care of my body and kind of like sitting in the suffering. And so now that I'm like on the other side of things, like I feel really empowered to be able to like create content to like help other people and educate other people. And that's like something I really want to focus on. I think that this year being in prep, I wasn't able to do that almost at all, just because like all my brain cells are going to like powering myself through a day.
Yeah, it's draining.
But all my brain cells.
It's but
like
actually
the three bouncing around, like the three bouncing
my last
around.
3 brain cells.
Yeah.
Like.
And so like I didn't get to focus on making like the type of stuff I wanted to make. But now I definitely want to do that. Because I feel like there's a lot of girls that are like interested in getting into fitness and maybe not even pursuing bodybuilding, but just like making that change in their life.
Yeah.
And like I would love to be able to like set that example and make a change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, I compete, but I feel like tracking my journey has led me to more people who want to make a lifestyle change than it has people in bodybuilding.
Yeah. And that's what I want to like, honestly, if I can focus on any like audience or group of people that I can speak to, I think that's like my strongest suit because I'm a baby in the bodybuilding world, you know? And like, I'll get there eventually, but.
Mm-hmm. And bodybuilders have enough support.
Yeah.
Like they can look up to the coaches and the pros and stuff, but it's cool to show somebody who needs to or wants to make a big lifestyle change. Like, look, I did it, and you don't have to put a bikini on now and get on stage, but like, it's the same path. You know, it's just maybe stopping a few steps before the bodybuilder would. Yes. They're going a little bit into the deep end there, but.
And I think you can relate to, and like I'm sure you as well, like when you get like certain messages on social media of somebody like genuinely reaching out, being like, hey, listen, like you actually inspired me to like go and do X, Y, and Z today. Like, you made me feel good about myself to like go on a walk or go exercise or blah, blah, blah. Or like I walk that extra however many steps on the treadmill or like whatever. And getting even those like small little feedbacks, like you understand like how great of a impact you can make on like a larger audience. And like, that's something that like really excites me. Like, and I want to be able to do that. And you coach too, which I think is so awesome. I don't know if like coaching is like something that I would pursue full time, but I think it's really great that you do that.
Yeah. I love it so much. It's really fun. But so when you started, did you start lifting first or did you, so like what was the first step?
Yeah.
You said you were overweight and you like wanted to make a change. How did you start that? And then did you realize that you had a binge eating disorder and then start? Or were you like, you started and then once you started like your health journey, your fitness journey, was it kind of like...
Yeah, so there's definitely a timeline there. So I... Basically, during COVID, right? So that was when I was 18 years old. That was 2020. Mm-hmm. I mean...
so this is all COVID?
This is all COVID, wow. Yeah. So
it's so fresh.
Yeah. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, I'm a baby in the bodybuilding world. And I totally respect that for myself. Mm-hmm. Like, I am so new to fitness. I am so new to bodybuilding.
And look how far you've come in such a short amount of time. Yeah. So, like, that also, I think about your specific journey is really cool.
Thank you.
Like, for me, it's like, I grew up being active in sports. Like, we're all active.
Well, you still went through, like, you were running track.
Yeah, there was a big change there. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was very skinny.
She was skinny.
She was very like this. Like, I just remember...
I was just like a little...
Like long arms. Yeah. And you're like lanky. Like,
I'm lanky.
You are like, you're tall.
I'm still lanky, but like I was a real
But now you're filling out your frame. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you know, like I think that that's a big difference from someone who like was never active and then like to make... So like it's a big change for me still. Like I'm not downplaying that, but you're still consistently being active, which I was used to. So to go from...
huge lifestyle change.
It's a huge lifestyle change for you, and that is extremely inspiring.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? For other people to look at, because you're like, no, look where I was. Like, I don't want to hear any of that bullshit.
I always felt like I would always feel like my entire life I'd look at myself in the mirror and be like, this is not the body I'm supposed to be in. And I like... as crazy as that sounds, like I literally like would look at myself and be like, this isn't who I see in my head. This isn't like the version of the girl that I want to be. And now I'm closer than ever to like creating that vision that I had of myself. Yeah. But yeah, so like the timeline of all that, I guess. Yeah. So COVID, which is crazy. I actually graduated high school early. So I graduated by like January of my senior year of high school. I had enough credits. Okay. And I was like, okay, in this time off, I'm going to just like work out and then I'm going to show up on graduation and I'm going to look amazing. And then COVID happened and I sat inside of my house and ate like goldfish for like 6 months. And I was like heavier than I ever was. And I was about to go off to my freshman year of college. And I had like just recently got my heart broken a little bit. And I was like, you know what? fuck it, like, I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna, like, look like a different person. So I just started eating healthy. And I knew nothing about, like, anything or macros or nothing. I just, like, smaller portions, high protein, whatever. I'd eat a lot of veggies. And I did that for, like, 6 months, wore an Apple Watch, moved a lot, and I lost, like, 30 pounds. And I posted about it on, like, my Instagram.
In 6 months.
Yeah, and, like, 6
That's
pounds,
crazy.
just eating healthy and moving more. Like, I didn't even work out.
I don't understand that.
What do you, stop it right now. Stop it. Because I literally be saying this.
Yeah.
Like, if you're extremely overweight, just start moving more and eating slightly healthier.
Yeah. Your knee, like, your like, your daily exercise, your just, like, movement on a daily basis, like, actually counts so much. It's crazy.
And, like, this is the thing, like, with health and fitness and weight loss, you can get, I always say, you can get as crazy, as specific, as technical about it as you want.
Yes.
Like, dude, I compete. I understand we can get crazy about it, but you don't have to.
It's so simple if you think about it simply. Like,
to.
it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and I literally, like, and that was my freshman year of college, too. So, like, I was drinking, but, like, I was going out and walking all the time. So, like, or even before I went out to, like, college, I would ask my friends, I'd be like, hey, can we, like, go on walks in your neighborhood? Yeah. Can we, like, go on jogs? And I could barely even run. Like, I could not. Like, I would jog for, like, 2 minutes at the time. I was super unathletic. But I tried. Yeah. And I was kind of just like, okay, like, let's get a little bit better. And I saw it as, like, this 3-year goal. I remember specifically that summer, like, when I was in that process, I lost, like, that first 15 pounds. And a friend of mine was like, so, like, what's your goal for all of this? Like, what's the end goal? And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't, like, and this is before I even knew what bodybuilding was. Like, I swear to God, I said, if I don't have the body I love, I'm going to build one that I do. Mm-hmm. Like, that was the exact phrasing that I said. And so I lost that 30 pounds. I posted about it. I got this, like, big feedback on, like, all the people I went to high school with. Everyone being like, oh my God, good for you, blah, blah, blah. And I was getting questions, and a lot of it was like, do you work out? And I was like, no, but I would love to learn how to work out. Someone swiped up.
Take that note that she lost 30 pounds without much working out.
No working. Like, literally walking.
Because
that's
working
crazy.
out has nothing to do with weight loss.
Yes, exactly that. She is correct. Yeah.
Also, I feel like most people's lifestyles are so bad with their eating and their movement and everything that, like, you make the smallest changes and it's, like, such a huge difference.
Huge difference.
I would beg to differ that if everyone just started drinking more water, you would also lose some
literally.
weight.
Everyone's skin would be better. Everybody would be happier. Like, you would be, like, I'm telling you guys, if you're not peeing every couple hours, like, you drink more fucking water. Like, I don't.
For myself, too, because there's things that I could, like, add in right now that I know of that I don't do just because.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes it's just lazy or that I know could make a huge difference in my health alone. And I feel like I'm pretty healthy. But there's little things that I could add that I know for a fact that I just don't do right now because whatever.
My coach has me doing, like, light stim in the morning where, like, my first hour of my day, I'm not allowed on my phone and I have to have either my windows open or I have to go on a walk. Yeah. And, like,
I need to do that.
Everything on the internet's always like, go on a walk first thing in the morning and it'll be good for your mental health. Mm-hmm. And you're like, yeah, I'll do that. But you're not going to fucking do it. But now that I'm paying someone to, like, tell me to do it, I'm like, okay, I have to go fucking do my shit.
That's me on prep. Like, on prep, I have all my ducks in a row. And I'm like, why do I not do my morning prep walks just, like, every day normally? I should do that. Yeah. But, just, like, adding one thing in can make a big difference.
Huge difference. So I ended up being like, I don't know how to work out, but if someone wants to tell me about it, I'll try. Yeah. And somebody random on the internet who, like, I'm now still friends with to this day because it was just, like, so kind of him. We've been, like, following each other's fitness journeys. Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm a kines major at Rutgers. I will make you this, like, free workout plan. I said, cool. I literally started going to Planet Fitness with my friends. I remember I was hip thrusting, like, 20-pound barbells. And, like, I went to Altoona at the time. Oh, okay. So I was a 2-2 student with Penn State. Okay. So I was at Penn State Altoona at the time. And, like, literally doing, like, 20-pound hip thrusts and just, like, learning how to do all these workouts. And most of these workouts were not, like, push-pull legs. It was, like, a lot of full body stuff, like, things like that. I did that for, like, 6 months. And then I told those girls that I was like lifting with, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home. We're going to work all summer. Next year, we're going to go to the big girl gym. No more Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
And so I went home. I like learned how to deadlift. I learned how to bench. Like I worked. There were days that summer. That was the summer going into my sophomore year. So summer of 2021, where I was lifting twice in a day. Like I was just like, that was like my serious gym rat era when like you like think you're so cool and you're just starting.
That's the best time though.
It's
so fun. Like your friends going to the gym.
It's total bullshit. It's literal bullshit.
I remember that. I would go to school and then go to cheerleading practice, and then me and my friend Mark would get home at like 7:30 p.m. every night and just stay in my little basement gym until like 11.
Yeah. I don't think I have that era.
No.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
FOMO.
Well, it's because like you were doing athletic stuff.
You learn about pre-workout.
That's it. You're dry scooping.
You're dry scooping. You're like
everything.
I was watching Pumping Iron on the TV in the gym, like just.
I don't think I'm a gym rat. I don't think I'm a gym rat.
No.
You were really steady into it, like
I don't know, like
you never had like an intense moment.
Like I want to be a gym
rat,
but like I've never dry scooped pre.
No, she's not. She's not really. She's a wellness.
You weren't with the culture.
She's like a health girl.
Yeah, like health girly.
Fuck that. I want to be a gym rat.
Well, then she doesn't like beta alanine.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
You don't want the itchy.
That's what I'm saying.
You are like you're literally like health and wellness. Honestly, so good for you though.
It's good. It's much better for you than dry scooping pre-workout.
Yeah. Like I probably like took a couple years off my life with like the total war that I was literally like swallowing every day.
Have you had alpha line?
I haven't had alpha line.
We're saving a bunch of alpha line after this.
Okay.
I'm like drinking a cup of coffee before the workout, and Joey's like, "You gotta get this." He has like 7 different tubs of powder out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
One of this, two of this,
So that phase is intense. And then like that's when like I had like the big over the ear headphones and like you do a PR that was like 165 pounds on deadlift and slam that shit. Like it was intense. Like yeah. So that was the whole summer of that. And then my sophomore year, which was 2021 into 2022, that's when I kind of had like a gym slump. And I was dating some guy at the time, and he was like, why don't you start an Instagram account for your fitness stuff to like keep yourself accountable? Because yeah, right. Oh, and that's the thing. I always had wanted to, but I was always like nervous about like honestly, like because I feel like guys can judge you for that shit. Now that I'm this deep into fitness, like I could care less. But at the time, like I was still so new about it that I was like, oh yeah, what are guys gonna think about me? But my boyfriend, like at the time, literally was like, do it. So I did it. And so I started the account. That's when I discovered, like, I would be on my Explore page and stuff, and you'd see, like, you know, literally, like, Laura Lee, like, we were talking about it, like, just before the conversation. Laura Lee and, you know, Liana and everything, and I'd see the sparkly bikinis, and I just remember being like, okay, I told myself at 18 that, like, I would give myself 3 years to give myself this dream physique. Mm-hmm. This looks so cool. I love this, like, little my sparkly.
Dreams are growing now.
Yeah, this is, like, I would love to step on stage in a little sparkly bikini. Like, why not? And I literally... So dumb. And then...
No, me for real.
But you get it. But you get it, totally. And so March of my sophomore year, so I was 19 at the time, I was like, a year from now, before my 21st birthday, I'm gonna have competed in a bodybuilding show, and I'm gonna have done damn good. And yeah, so then I got with a coach in July of this past year.
So how did you find your coach?
I literally looked up bodybuilding coaches in my county. Like I swear to God. I did that too. Yeah. So because I wanted somebody that was like kind of semi-local, and I also wanted somebody that was more affordable. I think that, like, with this big wide world of the internet and social media and stuff, like, anybody with any sort of qualification, or even if you are a pro that knows nothing about actually coaching, they'll try to coach you and, like, get you on stage because they want to make a buck. And, like...
And it's expensive.
And it's expensive as shit. It's literally, like, and I, like, pay now top dollar for, like, a great coach. But, like, at the time, like, I didn't know if this is something I wanted to do long term. So I wasn't willing to invest some major money into it. Yeah. And I ended up finding a coach who was giving me a student discount. Like, it was really affordable. And, you know, I started doing like macros. He gave me a training plan. And his coaching style was like super like flexible lifestyle, like, you know, life comes first, bodybuilding comes second.
Okay.
My coach that I have now is flip-flopped.
Yeah,
I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest.
I mean, like, I'm a lifestyle coach as of now. Like, maybe sometime way in the future I would venture into the coaching of bodybuilding, but right now I'm a lifestyle coach and yes, like life comes first when you're a lifestyle coach, but when you're in bodybuilding comes first. Yeah. Always. Yeah. And he was a great coach, don't get me wrong. Oh yeah. And he got me to the stage. I ended up placing at my first show, third in my novice class, third in the open overall, and then my second show. Thank you. And then at my second show, I got second in my junior, second in the novice, and then third in the open overall. So that was all with the same coach.
That was all with the same coach.
Okay, sweet.
And I did wellness for both shows. I should have done bikini for my second show. I leaned out so damn much, and I showed up at OCB. Wellness is kind of a mess right now.
Yeah.
Was that the feedback you got that you were too lean?
The feedback that I was given was that the girl that placed, or like the people that placed ahead of me for my, because I was second for my junior and the novice class, I was told like, you were in better shape than her, but you were in better shape than her, but she was more full than you. Yeah. And I said, yeah, she was more full because I was in better shape than her. Because, okay, this is we're being candid on this podcast here. I was in better shape than this girl. Yeah. The issue is that wellness right now in the OCB, because it's a natural federation, they're kind of trying to decide what they're looking for, because wellness is not inherently a natural looking physique.
It's not natural.
At all. If you think any of these wellness, like
it's
literally,
not natural. It's not natural.
Yeah. So just saying that wellness is not natural in any capacity.
But when you're at a natural show, it becomes like, and I still follow OCB, like I still look into the shows and the competitors, and it becomes a question of
the judging is so fluid with wellness.
Wellness, people sometimes say, is bikini with larger legs sometimes, but now it's getting everything, like every year is growing. So like bikini is much different than it was in 2018. Yes. Wellness is a super, super new division. What was this, like the second year of it being at the Olympia?
Yeah, and I think it's the first year of it being in the OCB at all.
Yeah, so right now in a natural division, it's like, okay, how do we put in a natural organization, like how do we put a division that like can really only be achieved with steroids in a natural show?
What kind of guidelines do we set?
Yeah, now is it just bikini but with more body fat on the legs?
And so that's like exactly the situation that ended up happening to me, where at my first show, right, like I placed third in both of my classes, and kind of the feedback is always going to be kind of like generic, like get full, like, you know what I mean? Put on more muscle, get a little bit leaner. Like, of course, they're always going to want to see that. And so for that month in between those two shows, I like worked my ass off. I really leaned out. I took like 3 inches off my waist. Like I looked crazy for that second show, which is why I should have done bikini. I leaned out a little bit too much. And I ended up going to that wellness show and placing ahead of this girl for the open and the novice class. But then she beat me out for the junior, and literally, I was really upset. How does that make any sense? And so that's when I ended up coming to the judges being like, you want to explain to me what happened? Like, in a respectful way. I wasn't like up in their face, but like,
well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and they basically were like, yeah, well, her glutes were more full than yours, but you came in better shape than her. And like,
but you beat her in the other categories.
But I beat her in the other categories.
Also, you gotta remember, it's not like a computer. These judges are just like,
it's an exactly that.
Yeah. So what, like a judge has an opinion, and then an hour later, it's like, oh well, yeah.
Also, how hard can it be to get qualified as a judge, as an OCB judge?
I don't know.
Right.
And it's exactly that too.
Like I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I'm sure you don't have to go through,
but I will say, and nothing against OCB, like in NPC, OCB, and everything, like you can look at the top competitors and things change tremendously from one week to another, from one show to another. Like, different judges, different
Laura
day.
Lee came into
exactly. I mean, look at Laura Lee. Like,
she got, absolutely.
She got 4th or 5th at the Olympia, and then she freaking won the Arnold.
And she looked crazy at the Olympia. Yeah. But she was too skinny.
She looked crazy because she was too skinny. Exactly.
And I just want to, like, go back to something you said before, which is, like, you said, I came in extremely conditioned. And when I say conditioned, I mean she lost body fat. Yeah. She was a lot leaner than she was at the first show.
At my second show.
And so you say, because I was more conditioned, I could have competed in bikini. But that exact mindset is the fault with competing naturally in wellness.
That's exactly it.
Because wellness and bikini should be the same amount of leanness. And again, like, that leanness 100%. Is going to depend on you and your physique. Like, you'll see top competitors in the IFBB league who have different body fat levels, just because it's very much subjective and it's about how that body fat looks on you. But the difference between bikini and wellness is muscle, not leanness. So,
and it's also overall shape. Like, having the smaller looking upper body, that's not to say, like, not being built in your upper body, but the smaller upper body where the lower half,
your lower
half needs to be dominating your physique. Whereas, like, I have a very balanced physique. My previous coach,
I have a bikini physique.
I have a bikini physique. Absolutely. My previous coach pushed me to do, not pushed me, I don't want to say that, but he recommended I did wellness. Yeah. I think only because he didn't want to push me too hard and lead me out too hard for my first show and kind of scare me away, but I was ready for it all.
So you're going into NPC bikini.
And so, that's the next step. Okay. So now that I'm with my new coach, we lost the little track of the timeline here, but it's okay. We got distracted. But with my new coach, it's funny because I talked to him and I was like, listen, like, I never really was interested in wellness. I kind of was just, like, recommended to do so for the OCB. And he was like, yeah, no, you're not wellness. You're just overfed bikini. And I was like,
overfed bikini.
It's true. It's true. Listen.
I should go on a hat or something.
Overfed.
Stop. Because so many...
Is that how you feel right now?
That would be freaking hilarious, because I was thinking of making these funny hats for Mobile Fit Lab. I want to quote, and then I will write the blonde.
Yeah. I love it.
What's the other one?
The other one is...
I didn't kill my husband.
Have you seen Legally Blonde? Where she's like...
Legally Blonde is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, where she's like, she works out, she has endorphins, she couldn't have killed her husband.
Yeah.
So I want pink hats from Mobile Fit Lab say I didn't kill my husband.
I love that.
It's like you're working out.
I will so wear that. Yeah. That's awesome.
But I freaking love that quote, because and I hear this a lot. Coach Adam at Team Elite Physique is my favorite ever. And if I went into getting a coach, that would probably be where I go.
You listen to Bikini in the Brain?
I love
Bikini in the Brain.
I love Bikini in the Brain. But he always says, like, you're not wellness. You're just fat.
Yeah.
Like, you're not like, not in an offensive way. Like,
no, not in an offensive way. But
around here, I use the word fat, like, not in a non-offensive way. I just mean, like, you have more body fat.
Okay, like, in the world of elite physique sports, you can call people fat.
Yeah,
it literally means
body
fat.
I'm talking here scientifically about fat, not like actually being So many people I see now on Instagram, so many girls being like, I want to compete. Like, I'm going to compete in wellness. My legs are so big. I'm like, babe, like, you just hold all your body fat in your lower body. Legs. Like, we hold body fat in different areas. So when you have body fat, even a healthy amount of body fat, like, I'm not saying you're not healthy, but, like, you naturally hold in your legs. Hey, I wish that was me. I'd love to have a fat donk in the off season, but, like, it's just not.
Yeah. So. The thing is, it's not like if your legs are fatty, you should do wellness because they're fatty. It's like, you should be the same amount of leanness, like you said before.
That's what I'm saying.
Or bikini.
So it's like,
get rid of the fat and then see what your legs look like.
When I did that second show, my legs fell off. Like, exactly. Like, in that first show, sure, I looked like natural wellness, whatever they want to define it. And listen, granted too, like, I'm sitting here being like, oh, like, I didn't do that good. Like, I still placed third and second.
Oh, yeah,
like,
we're really digging.
Like, you know, exactly. Like, I'm digging. Like, I can't complain. Like, to be top 3 at this show, like, I'm happy. Obviously, everyone wants to win everything. Like,
absolutely.
But I came into that first show and, like, my legs looked great. Like, I looked really wellnessy, whatever. But then I leaned out to, like, where, like, I was actually really conditioned, or a lot closer to what my next goal is, which is being in the NPC and doing bikini. Mm-hmm. And there, like, I had no legs. Like, I literally, I remember, like, looking down and being like, I don't have legs anymore. Like, my ass fell off. Like, I literally, like, Like, I didn't have any sort of, like, thigh rub whatsoever. Yeah. Like, my pants felt, like, way too big on me all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I love when I'm watching a bikini show? Is you can tell which girls were a little bigger before they started lifting and which girls were, like, really skinny before they started lifting.
Really?
Because their calves.
That's so... I have huge calves. I have enormous calves.
I'm sitting there looking on stage.
Is it the fat girls that have huge calves?
I think so. No, like, I'm always looking up there at, like, oh my God, that girl has no calves. That girl's calves are, like, freaking...
Yeah, because they carried the weight of a 200-something pound girl before they were skinny. That's the story of my life.
Meanwhile, I'm on the calf raise machine, like...
Me too. I'm like...
Wait, you guys can't see that if you're listening. Yeah. I was, like, making an aggressive face and doing calves.
I have nasty calves for absolutely no reason. Like, crazy calves.
Well, I love that because you don't have to worry about, like, flexing them.
No.
They're just naturally
They're
nice
just naturally
in your heels.
popping. But I guess, like, to go back on the timeline, I ended up doing these shows. I'm happy with how I did. Obviously, everything could have gone better. But I then got with my new coach, who is Mark Tomanek, with Tomanek Trained. And he runs the Competitive Edge podcast, which was, like, my favorite podcast besides Bikini in the Brain for so long.
That. Okay.
He's awesome. I highly recommend it. And then, like, I ended up hiring him and, like, asking a bunch of questions, obviously, beforehand. But it's kind of sick because I'll do my check-ins now, and it's like, oh my God, my favorite podcaster. Like, like I hear his, like, his voice in my ears. He always do, like, voice memos and stuff like that. But yeah, so then NPC Bikini is like the next step, and you know, I don't know, and just like in overall, just like the pursuit of like fitness and health, and like I really like challenging myself, and I'm just really excited to kind of like explore kind of like what I can do in the next like.
It's an exciting spot because you're just kind of looking ahead, like into the like potential.
Yes.
You know, so and also it's a really cool spot where you are right now because you can look back and be like, I've been here before and so much happened. So much. So now I'm in this new place, like, and so much, you're still like, so much can still happen. You know, it's not like you're like, this is the peak of my physique. And at this point I'm like at the Olympia and I'm making the tiniest tweaks. Like, no, like, like I feel like we're both in the spot where like our physiques have we still have so much more room to grow that it's exciting. Yeah. But we're in a good spot too.
Yeah, muscle maturity. Like, I'm young. Literally, exactly. Like, I just turned 21. Wait, you're 22, 21?
I'm 22.
22.
Yeah.
She's old.
Old as shit.
Okay.
Relax. Yeah, you're literally under 21.
Relax, rash head over there. Yeah, Joey has rashes all over his head right now, by the way.
Are they supposed to be hearts?
They were hearts.
Okay.
They were. I'm letting them fade now.
Okay.
Because my dad makes fun of me every time he sees me. So.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't let pink hearts fade. I would just dye it another color because it does look
That's a good point. It does look like rashes.
What's the next color?
Brown. I'll go back to brown.
I thought we could do purple for a photo shoot.
Maybe for a photo shoot.
Because that's our Mobile Fit Lab color.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I was thinking is the exact same color of Barney.
You do like purple zebra stripes.
Something
crazy.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I just started messing with it. Yeah. I'm kind of like...
It's so short, you can just literally do whatever with it.
I just buzz it and it's gone.
You're the blonde unit right now.
Look at that.
Oh my God. Wait, you should take a photo together
the
and
blonde
say
units.
That.
The blonde units. Blonde units, literally.
Okay, but do you have a show plan now? Or do you have a, like, so he's coaching you right now, right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to ask this because I think a lot of people, and I don't have a coach. Mm-hmm. I've never had a coach. So a lot of people
You've never had a coach? Even,
no.
What, through prep?
Yeah.
You prepped alone?
Other than posing.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I prepped like myself and my family helped me. So
holy shit.
It was literally like every week it was just like, all right, what
every week I'd be in my bikini on the deck and we were all like, okay, what are we doing?
Holy shit. That is crazy. Yeah. Good for you.
Our parents are both very like qualified in fitness.
Okay. I mean, you guys do have a home gym. Yeah.
Dad's not qualified.
My family...
No, he's just
watching things.
He just knows everything about everything.
Everything about everything.
About
okay.
Fitness.
Okay.
He'll sit down and watch
Play
YouTube
that for
videos
him next time he's mad at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, I tell him all the time. He knows. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
That is, my family is not into the fitness sphere whatsoever. So they think the fact that I do this is like...
Probably bizarre.
Oh, and before
I love
it was
hearing
bizarre,
about what people's families say about it.
But now my mom's like a stage mom. My mom eats that
Don't
shit
you love
up.
that? Joey's my stage
loves
mom.
it.
I believe literally, I get so...
Joey's my stage mom. He runs around with the camera. He takes a video of me on stage, and then he sprints to backstage.
My eyes were like watering when Laura Lee gave her the thing. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, like at the
what Laura, what happened?
At the Pittsburgh Pro-Am, I won my class. Mm-hmm. Was it?
Good for you.
And
my eyes are watering. I was so excited.
And Laura Lee gave me my award.
Oh,
and
I would shit myself.
Know she was going to.
I would die.
I saw that.
She started walking out, and I was like,
I gotta find the video because
I would be freaking out.
I saw her standing on set, and I'm just as much of like a fanboy for Laura Lee.
Oh my god, absolutely.
And I see her standing on the side with the sword, and I'm like,
Laura Lee is my like god. Anyways.
But oh my god, I was like, no, Bella's gonna cry. Bella's gonna start bawling.
Oh, I would be bawling I would be bawling my eyes out too.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah.
No, but you're asking about like the coaching.
So I think a lot of people only have coaches during prep, and if I were to get a coach, I'd want to have them through everything.
Yeah,
is that what you do?
Yeah, I've been getting coached since July, so I mean like months into an off season or like months preseason,
because off season is the time.
Yeah, like, I mean that's like how you're gonna grow, and whether or not like you are like, even if you're not doing like a strict meal plan, or even if you're doing macros, like whatever it is, like having the coach is like having the responsibility of someone checking in on you, making sure you're not fucking up, making sure that you're staying in within regular means, hitting your protocols, right? I think that like, I mean, listen, if you're a super disciplined, awesome person that can put yourself through your own prep, you know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. But like for someone like me who like is really new, I'm not a kines major whatsoever.
I mean, and it takes a lot of discipline even to follow a prep, even when you have a coach.
Absolutely.
Because the coach isn't gonna like
no one's gonna hand feed you. Literally.
Like it's a hand holding. It's not a spoon feeding. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but how is it having a coach in an off season? Like, what is that? What is it like? What is your protocol? And is it ever like? Does it provide you time to relax and have social time? Or are you ever like, oh my god, just shut the fuck up because I just want to go out.
Also, is it cheaper? Is there a cost difference between prep and...
So for my last coach, I was paying the same through prep as I was in the off season. With this new coach, I believe it's the same. This new coach is now like triple the amount I was paying for my first coach. But my first coach was also giving me a student discount, was a local guy, smaller, I mean, he does all sorts of clients, but it was like mainly to natural clients. He was like an OCB.
This is a bodybuilding coach?
Yeah, bodybuilding coach. And this is the coach I had for my first 2 shows this past year, my OCB shows.
Okay.
Whereas like with Mark, like protocol wise, I mean, so much change. Like with my last coach, I was literally tracking macros, getting my cardio assigned to me, and I had a workout plan. That was about it. Mm-hmm. Now I have a full-blown check-in sheet. I put in, like, I fill it out every single morning. Weight, I prick my finger, take my blood glucose every morning. That one's a pain in the ass, but you just like get used to it at this point. Like when you're doing it every single day, you just like you just mentally brace yourself. I mean, I have like hella supplements I'm on right now, but that's in big part to the fact that like I lost my period from competing, and like my hormones are shot. And
do you know what you went down to?
So my stage weight was 132.
I mean, percentage.
For body fat percentage. I'm 5'6" or 5'7".
Because when do you lose your period? 12%.
I haven't had it for 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just like to, like, if you're comfortable talking about weight, I like to be like super open about like weight versus weight and height, so people can kind of see what that looks like. So you said you're like 5'6" to 5'7". So I'm 5'6" and a half. Okay. So you're 132
at my stage weight at my second show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was like 137 probably or like 138 at my first show.
So our good friend owns a gym, a family friend, and they have an InBody there. So we do our we do our body fat percentages through that, and we also do skin folds and stuff. Yeah. So I track my progress by looking at my muscle mass and my body fat, but most people who have a coach and on prep don't ever know their body fat percentage or their muscle mass.
Just so everybody knows, skin folds are not
accurate. No, I was gonna say
wait a second. Yeah, they are if you do them consistently. And what skin folds are good for is getting measurements from different areas of your body, which is really good in bikini and bodybuilding. Like knowing how your fat has changed on your glutes, on your quads, on your.
But if I were to do a skin fold right now, I think I would be 4.5% body fat, and I'm not.
But I would like to clarify that it doesn't really matter. Like the percentage. You saying I'm 4 versus I'm 6, like who gives a fuck? It's about consistency, and it's about seeing a change. Yeah. So don't worry about like the accuracy, just worry about being consistent with something. If skin fold is what you have access to and it's what your coach does, don't question that. Like if you're always doing skin folds and if you're always checking your weight.
Because that checks the progress.
To a skin fold
you're not going back and forth from an InBody to a skin fold. I like to do both, but
I was just more curious about what percentage?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
I always like, it always frustrates me because I look at body fat percentage and muscle mass and I'm like, I wish there was an easier way, especially now as a coach, I wish there was an easier way to find those things out because it's cool to know.
Well, so now I also take measurements. So like that's another part of my protocol. So like measurements, right? So like between like blood glucose measurements, right? So I have that. I check my NEAT every single day. So I have 10,000 steps a day expenditure. And then I also track my digestion. So there's like a Bristol stool chart where I literally put how my poops were every single day based on a scale of 1 to 10. I give biofeedback. And
what is biofeedback?
Biofeedback is just like 100 words basically or less, or like 100 characters or less of like my day and like whatever in terms of training.
So what does your coach say the reason for doing your blood glucose is? Does that have to do with your period? Or what do you change based on what that looks like?
He is like so educated in like the physiology and everything of all this, so I don't want to butcher this.
That's a good sign of a good coach.
Yeah, and that's why I love his podcast and I listen to him because he's just like beyond knowledgeable. I wanted somebody who's like, I wanted a coach where I was actually investing money into my health, not just into bodybuilding. And that's what he's like so focused on. He's really focused on like creating healthy athletes.
And you know your money's going somewhere good because like he has an education of things past just macros, you know?
And that was like, I'm telling you, the biggest reason why I ended up switching. Yeah. If I'm being honest with like respects to my old coach, you know?
That's fine.
So the reason why he tracks the blood glucose is to check for insulin resistance, I believe. And also it helps keep track of general health in terms of like any issues coming off post-show. So like things like adrenal dysfunction, or I'm someone that struggles with like PCOS, or I've had PCOS style symptoms, things like that.
Muscle growth, isn't
It
it?
is good for muscle. I always make the joke. Okay, this is really funny because I'm always like, I'm like a not natty because my T levels are like low key a little bit high, but like I'm natty. It's just like it's good for muscle growth, which is maybe in part
which
to
I know
like
it sucks. Other parts of it suck, but
it's like it's not affecting me too majorly. But like you know, you were saying you're like like you've like grown a lot in the past few years, and I'm like like, I always like blame the PCOS. I'm like like that's why. But yeah, like adrenal dysfunction, like because literally in prep, like I was taking my ADHD medicine and then caffeinating like 3 times a day and then like smoking weed before I went to bed. And like my body was like just not having it.
Do you still smoke throughout prep and off season?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how does it
do you get munchies?
Yeah, but you just like get over yourself basically. Okay. Like
it's not that. I mean, also if you prep before you smoke and you have like a nice prep meal.
Like I'm very much an advocate for marijuana in the bodybuilding sphere, but it's not for everybody. And like there's a lot of athletes that just like don't fuck with it. And
Bella gets too hungry.
It's not for me.
It's not for you.
No.
See, but here's the thing, like I I've been able to find like the treats and stuff that work for me.
Yeah.
So like I can like totally smoke and then just be like, okay, like hee little like bedtime snack, like my yogurt with like little mini chocolate chips or like whatever I'm gonna have.
10 times better. Yeah.
That's exactly it. Like whatever shitty ass meal that I have to eat is like so much better if I'm just like, yeah, I'm high right
Guys,
now.
let's get high and eat brownies.
It's better.
It's 0 calorie sauce.
Like, it's better. Yeah, it ends up being better.
We're like kind of running out of time.
Yeah.
We're almost at an hour.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. But I want to ask one more thing before we finish up, or if you have anything else to say.
Okay.
Do you see yourself, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but in the future in NPC, do you see yourself going on gear?
Okay.
At any point in your career?
Oh, wow. Joey.
No. This is
hey, we haven't had like a real bodybuilder.
I was gonna ask.
On
this is a great question.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have you on again because
I would love to come back.
It goes so fast.
No, it literally does, and there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, there really is. This is a journey breakdown.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't really even get like in the. Okay, go ahead.
No, you're good. Okay. So in terms of like getting on gear, because I'm so new and because I'm such a baby in this like bodybuilding sphere, currently I don't see a reason for me to do it now because I just think there's like my genetic potential is not like near anything like I have just so much growing that I can still do that is not needed with the help of gear. Now granted, like say I end up doing a prep 3 years from now and my coach thinks like implementing gear would be for a better and safer prep, like something like cleanse, something, I don't know like how much knowledge on like PEDs you guys have. Honestly, mine's pretty limited as well.
I've done some research.
You've done some research. And so like cleanse, for example, right? Like which cleanse just like helps you retain muscle and helps burn body fat a little bit easier. Something like that can like help in serious preps, but I also don't see myself doing it in the next few years.
That's very subtle.
Yeah, and it's very subtle.
Well, most bikini girls are on like subtle.
There's
it is a subtle.
Yeah, like a bikini, you're not gonna get on trend.
No
bikini.
It's like a gram of Anamar. It's like nothing serious. However, I really like holding on to this idea that I'm natty and that like I did this all myself.
Natty card is a fun card.
Natty card is a fun card, right? And it's like the issue is that when you get to like the top pro levels, no one gives a shit whether you're natty or not. And if you are natty,
but there are natural
there are natural ones.
So what's her name?
There's a girl that lives locally named Brittany. And
I know Brittany. Yeah.
And Brittany's a natural NPC pro.
She got her pro card at a natural NPC show.
But what I'm saying is it's not a question, like nobody cares, like nobody asks.
And even if you were natty and you looked sick, no one would believe you anyways. So it's like...
Yeah, there are natural girls at the Olympia, and
who's gonna fucking believe you?
No one at that stage, once you're that good, no one talks about it.
Yeah.
Like, Laura Lee's not like, this is what I take, and so-and-so's not like, this is what I don't take. Like, no, like...
Well, Laura Lee takes something.
Yeah, that's 100%. She stays so lean for most of the year.
Like, oh my God.
But I, like, in terms of all that too, I also care about, like, my reproductive health and my overall health. And I think that I would only make the commitment to taking gear if bodybuilding was something that was viable for me to be serious about, like going to the Olympia. Like if it was like, yeah, Veronica, like, you know, you made it to a national stage, but like you're not going to get this pro card, or you're not going to be able, if maybe I get a pro card naturally, past that, you know, like you'll never step on an Olympia stage. If that's at that point, 5 years, however many years down the road, something I really want.
So that is a realistic thing to say. Like at some point, whether it's in like 5 years, 10 years, you do come to a point where you're like, all right.
If the why is greater than the how, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. But right now, the why is not greater than the how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I still have the how in me.
That's what I've always said. Like I know a lot of guys. I have a lot of friends that just get on gear just to look sick in the gym and on social media. Yeah. And I feel like obviously I've thought about it, and it would be like awesome. I love it.
Yeah, but then you get off of it, and you're gonna look like shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, the only reason I would do it is to try to be Mr. Olympia, which obviously I'm not on that path right now. So
yeah,
it's not.
So like I don't know. I mean, I do all this shit to like look sick because that's like the best part of all this. Like I know you guys get it.
Yeah.
But if I can just like keep impressing myself without like anything else, I'll be happy. I'll be fulfilled. So.
Cool. And you can compete without having a goal of being on the Olympia stage.
Absolutely.
Like, competing is so rewarding.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's such a cool process. it's really fucking expensive. So
Yes.
that's the downside to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that. And I wanted to say, I have 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it up. But the first thing is that you said you were a girly girl.
Oh, such a girly girl.
So how was that? Like picking out your bikini?
Oh my God.
Did you buy a bikini?
Yeah. So I ended up getting my bikini from Ravish Sands.
Okay.
And there's like basically like, I mean, as you know, like there's like 2 or 3, 4 top brands. Basically, it's like Toxic Angels, like Ravish Sands,
Angel Competitions,
and like I don't know, maybe like one other one.
Yeah.
That might be it though. I ended up getting really lucky. Ravish Sands like had like a little Christmas sale going on, and I ended up reaching out to the owner. She gave me like, I was like, hi, I'm a college student, blah, blah, blah. Like I sent her a bunch of photos of Ashley Coltweiser's. Like I think it was 2019 she won the Olympia.
What color was it?
Green. Ashley in green. Her classic. And I was like obsessed with Ashley at the time because that's like, I was in my bikini in the brain phase like really hard. I listen to like bodybuilding podcasts like 95% of the time. Like if I'm have my AirPods in. Yeah. So I sent her a bunch of photos of Ashley's winning bikini, and I was like, I want to look like this. This is my dream. And she, the owner of Ravish Sands, like put together the most gorgeous suit for me. I remember it came in the mail. I like cried. I like was bawling my eyes out. One of my best friends, who's also another bodybuilder, she's going to be in wellness in a couple of years probably, out in Texas. She got me like a set of jewelry and she had it like sent with like a little note with the gift, and I was like, Ron, like you came so far, like I'm so proud of you. So cute. Cried my eyes out. And then even like on show day, and I filmed it and everything, but I put together kind of like a box for myself. Like I bought like a nice like pretty box, and then I opened it on show day and it had like my bikini, like I had like the silk robe with my name on the back of it, like all of it, like I'm fucking extra as shit. I had a hair and makeup girl come to my room. I did not do my own hair and makeup. Yeah. Like I fully glammed out like it was like Honey Boo Boo pageant time.
Oh my God.
And I loved every moment of it because that's so me.
That's so fun. Yeah. That's the perfect time to be like extremely extra and extremely girly.
And I loved the green. I would have done pink, but I didn't want to do a blonde pink moment.
Yeah,
it would have
been. I don't think the judges are a fan.
No, like even though Marine
you gotta be
pink,
black if you're doing pink usually.
No, like literally. Yeah. Or like Marine pulled it. Like and that's fine.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't have done it. So green was like my perfect color, and I kind of like green as like my
I know,
color.
I do red usually, but I did try green like when I was posing. And I was kind of sad. I was like, maybe I should have done green. I kind of like green. But
green is so fun. And I mean, you love Ashley too, so.
Yeah. It's her classic.
So literally.
Right, we have like 20 seconds.
Okay. We'll wrap it up.
Okay.
My last thing, just because I like to end all the podcasts with guests with this, is 1 to 3 beliefs, things in fitness and health and bodybuilding that there's so many things in the fitness industry on Instagram people say, and it's just like, oh my God, it's just all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
What are like
it's garbage soup.
Yeah, garbage soup. What are 1 to 3 things that are not garbage soup that you think will remain true always, that if someone's listening, they want to get into fitness, they want to change something in their life, would help them?
So the first thing I'll say, and this is the thing that might scare people off immediately, is it is your fucking responsibility to take action of what you want with your life. Like I worded that really badly, but it's your responsibility to take care of yourself, and no one's going to do it for you. And I got real close to the mic and I wanted to be aggressive about it because I spent most of my life in a pity trap, disliking myself, disliking the image that I portrayed of myself. And when the pain of that became too much greater than staying the same, I made the change. If you are complaining about something and not actively fixing it, nothing's ever going to happen, and you need to accept that fact. So stop thinking things are going to get better for you if you just stick around and keep doing the same shit over and over again. That is the first one. I'll be nicer with the other ones. Second would definitely be your why has to be greater than your how, and I kind of just mentioned that. You have to be able to overcome whatever is the obstacle or whatever is the challenge facing in the way to reach your why if it's more important than the how. Like if you care enough about something, it's gonna happen, right? And so it kind of goes with like that first statement too, right? Like people will be like, oh, I don't have time. No, you have time. You just didn't make time.
Yeah, and we'll say this a lot. Like, if your why isn't greater than your how, it's fine. Yeah. Just find a different why.
Absolutely. Yeah, find a different why. Mm-hmm. But it needs to be, right? So, like, for example, there's plenty of people that end up competing in a bodybuilding show and they go, this isn't for me.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. Yeah. And, like, you know, but you have to know your why, right? And so that is just, like, such a big thing. If you know your why and you can hold on to your why every single time that you get faced with a challenge, then you can be basically unstoppable. Yeah. And then the third one is definitely, and I heard this from another really good coach online, your thoughts are just suggestions. Every single thought that comes into your head, it's just a suggestion. Your brain fires 1,000,000 like synapses every single day. And we are humans. We are programmed to want dopamine and instant gratification and all these things. And every single time, like I said, like you have that goal, your brain is predisposed to be like, yeah, like I want the good things, whatever, because that's what makes you feel good. But your thoughts are literally just your suggestions, and you have to be willing to like sacrifice what you want most for what you want right now. And so even if that thought is just like, oh, like I feel like shit, I don't want to get out of bed right now, I don't want to go and make my bed and start my day, I'm just going to sit on Instagram and blah, 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 this and that. And it's like, you can listen to that thought, you can listen to that suggestion, or you can listen to what you actually need to do, your to-do list, your plans, whatever, and get your ass out of bed. And it's like these really simple things that like I live by, like have made such a huge difference. And then one last one. Really successful people do really monotonous things for a very long period of time. Yeah. And I'm very adamant on that one. Yeah. And it's pushed me very far, I think, in terms of like doing all this stuff. Yeah. So those are my favorite ones for sure.
Those are really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's about doing really small, simple tasks consistently for long periods of time. And what you said about the dopamine you receive when you accomplish the thing that took a lot of effort is much greater than the dopamine release of tiny things throughout the day.
Human fulfillment, in my opinion, and this is something that I'm constantly chasing in my life, is based off of accomplishing difficult things, difficult tasks. That's what makes human beings happiest, being able to discover something new, challenge themselves for something greater. And I will like always be chasing that feeling.
Yeah, and that applies to anything you're doing in life, like not just bodybuilding. And I think like every time I listen to a bodybuilding podcast, I think, oh my God, like this could apply to anything.
Everything. That's why I love bodybuilding.
Even not fitness, like because you're building your body in bodybuilding, but you're building your mind, you're working on yourself. Like it applies to anything you're building in your life, if that's a career, if that's a relationship, if that's your body. So yeah, like these, I love your 4 things because they apply to anything and everyone listening. Like even if you're in finance at Penn State, like you can apply those.
Finding fitness and bodybuilding has improved every single aspect of my life, hands down, without a question. Sure. Like it has turned me into a better, more disciplined, kinder, more understanding, patient, more organized. Like I really threw myself into fitness because I understood all the benefits that would come from it, and I was willing to get uncomfortable to see that change, because I was like, all right, well, I don't have any of these traits right now, but I'm gonna have to get uncomfortable to get them.
Yeah. And before, when you said you were looking in the mirror and you were like, this is not the shell that I'm supposed to be in, and now you've completely changed that shell, but I'm sure that the person who said that is also changed too, you know? So like your shell has changed, but the brain living inside the body is different too.
It's different too. It's completely different. Yeah. And it's almost hard, and I don't know if you guys relate to this in a way, because you guys have been in fitness like a lot of your lives, but like it's kind of almost hard to relate to my past self nowadays. I kind of look at her and I'm like, oh, like she's a separate entity from like the person that I am now.
I feel that.
And I feel a little disconnected from that. And but it's in a great way, because I wanted to leave that girl. It's growth. Yeah, literally.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, well, thank you so much again for coming on. Me. Super fun. This is Veronica Zelner, The Blonde Unit.
The Blonde Unit on Instagram. I also have a YouTube channel at The Blonde Unit. I have a couple of videos on there. I'm going to try to get more active about posting this summer.
Yeah. The Blonde Unit.
The Blonde Unit.
Her, subscribe. And we'll have you on again, hopefully. So,
thank you.
All right. 1, 2, 3. See you next time at Mobile Fit Lab After Hours. Bye.